I have cooked hundreds of steaks, and it was all for one reason: to learn the best methods to cook steaks. And when I heard a trained professional chef say something I've never heard before, I had to put that to the test, and this is what he said.
A lot of people cook their sous vide steak at 135 degrees because they think it's a perfect mid-rare. What we realized is after testing a whole bunch of steaks, you want to cook at a higher temperature, shorter amount of time. The golden degree is 149. Steaks come out money. Right now, you don't cook it all the way until it's 149 degrees on the inside, but you cook it for a shorter period of time. You still get that edge-to-edge perfection, but what it is it's a high enough temperature where the meat actually has a chance to cook properly.
So now let's put that to the test. And for this, I'll be using these two beautiful ribeyes. They're both choice grade, 1.5 inches thick. And here's how this experiment is going to work. The first thing to do is to go ahead and season them, making sure that both are exactly the same. So I added the same exact amount of salt, followed by freshly ground black pepper and garlic powder. Then I went ahead and vacuum sealed the first one, and it was ready. So into the water bath, it went at 135 degrees Fahrenheit. I'll be cooking this one for 2 hours. Now here's something important for you to understand about this method. So let Chef Authorized tell you exactly how it works.
So the time depends on the thickness of the steak, not until the internal temperature is 149. So if you like mid-rare, you want to do it until the internal temperature is 130-ish, right? Because you still have to sear it. Take in consideration, if you're not a trained professional, just get the thermo pen that's for the sous vide, right? This is ideal. Then you can get the internal temp at 135 and you're perfect.
So that is exactly what I'm going to be doing. I'll be using this thermometer, and the most important thing is to ensure I place it right in the middle. This will tell me the exact internal temperature to perfection. So I placed my steak inside of the bag and left that open. As you can see, the current internal temperature is 48 degrees Fahrenheit. We want to bring it up to 135. But most importantly is this, the ideal temperature to cook at hot and fast, which is 149 degrees Fahrenheit. Then I opened up my container and slowly placed my steak in there. This is called the water displacement method. It allows you to cook sous vide without having to pull a vacuum. In the meantime, I reached out to Chef Authorized and asked him what side dish he would like me to cook. And he allowed me to share his recipe with you, and here's how. The first thing to do is to combine butter and olive oil. Melt everything together in the microwave and have it ready. And for the potatoes, I'll be using Gold Idaho. The important thing is to slice every single one the same exact thickness. You don't want to be too thick. Once that's done, you want to dunk individual potatoes into that butter. Then place them on top of a parchment paper. And the idea is to make a nice design. Choose whatever one you like. I'm using this flower pattern, as the only thing left now is to throw it in the oven in the bake setting at 375 degrees Fahrenheit until you have nice golden brown edges just like this. Now, I'll be honest, Chef Authorized does not go this far. However, I cooked 5 batches of these, and to me, taking them more crispy is actually better. This way, they have two texture. The middle feels like confit potato, and the edges just like chips. This is a genius side dish, and as you saw it, it is super easy to make, and most importantly, it should pair up perfect to go along with our steaks. Talking about that, the only thing left to do is to wait for a hot and fast steak to cook. I took it at exactly 135 degrees Fahrenheit, but the temperature kept going up until it was 136. But now let's get them out of the bag and see what we got. I'll tell you one thing, it is extremely interesting for me, this experiment, because after cooking sous vide for years, I'm talking about over 5 years of actually using this method, I've never heard of cooking a steak at 149 degrees Fahrenheit. But with all that being said, the other steak is also ready, and it's time to take it out and find out how good it is. One of the things that I'll tell you immediately is that there's not as much juice as the sous vide steak, which is quite interesting. The one that was cooked at 135 degrees Fahrenheit for 2 hours has more juice than the high temperature one. I definitely did not expect that. Is the 149 degrees Fahrenheit temperature too high and it's overcooked? I have no idea, but I know exactly what you're thinking. I know my steaks don't look that good right now, but watch this. All right, everybody, here we have our beautiful steaks. I got my nephew Angel and Max the meat guy. If you've never seen Max's video, go check him out, everybody. He is the meat man.
I appreciate it. I've been wanting to taste a Guga steak for 5 years. So I'm ready.
Ah, that's good. I'm glad you're here, Max. I got an experiment for you today, boy. I don't know if it's going to be a good thing, a bad thing, but that's what you're here for, right?
Let's do it.
We're testing A versus B. I want to know which steak is better.
Where do we start?
We're going to go here, right here.
All right.
Ready for it? Let's dig in.
do
Just
it.
grab it. Sorry if it's falling apart. You know, it's sous vide. Sometimes the steak gets too tender. You know what I mean?
It's not a problem.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
That's falling apart. That's like so tender.
Great flavor, texture on point. That's a great steak.
100% agree.
I want more.
Okay, not much to be said. It tastes fantastic. It tastes the way I'm used to it, but I'm very excited to try this one.
Let's do it.
All right, let's go. Let's go for the second one. Tell me everything about the steak, the texture, the flavor. How does it feel when you're slicing it?
Texture already feels a little bit different.
I agree. It's a little bit more resistance when you're trying to chop up the steak. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But let's really tell you guys this technique works, or if it doesn't work.
So it's a technique.
Oh, shoot. Something escaped out of my mouth. Let me keep my mouth shut and we're going to try this right now. You ready, Max?
Let's go.
All right, let's give it a try. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Very different. Not in a bad way though.
It's not a bad steak.
But I don't know if it's a better way or a worse way.
Which one is better?
I personally think I would take the first one.
You take the
Really?
first one?
Yeah.
This to me tastes way more like a traditional, whether it's reverse seared or just direct grilling. Far more traditional with like the texture at least.
I 100% agree. It is not as tender as the first one. At the same time, it's not overcooked. As you can see, they look pretty identical to each other.
Flavor wise, they were exactly the same. for me.
Identical, really.
Do you think this one was too tender though?
I think it was good. I like it.
This might shock you guys, but I actually like this one a little bit more.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
For me, this one was just falling apart a little bit too much. You know, sometimes when you sous vide a steak at a really low temperature, it can almost be a little bit slimy.
Yeah.
Not that this was quite there yet, but it had that characteristic a little bit. I mean, they're both great. Don't get
Yeah,
me wrong.
yeah,
They're both
yeah, yeah,
delicious.
yeah.
But this one just a little bit more.
It hold itself together
yeah.
a little bit more. So it
Exactly.
feels like a traditional steak. I guess that's what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
This is a very interesting experiment, everybody. I was not expecting this whatsoever. I understand where you're coming from. I love that you like this one here better, but you're going for this one.
Yeah.
I love that.
I gotta
So here's the experiment, okay? It's from Chef Authorized. Shout out to you, Brendan. This was here cooked faster. It's like a sous vide express. It was only cooked under about 35 minutes, but at a higher temperature, 149. This one here at its traditional lower temperature. I am definitely gonna go with this one. Doesn't mean that I hate this one.
fair.
They're both great.
I'm very happy with both these steaks.
You
Yeah.
give me
In any
either one of
situation.
these in a restaurant. I'm
Oh, yeah.
so happy.
If you're short on time, I think this is a great method. Personally, I'm still leaning towards this one for my preference.
Like
I
the
get it.
texture.
I get,
Yeah.
That's
a little
fair.
chew to it.
Especially you put some rice in here.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about some rice, we got some side dish. This is
Oh.
Chef Authorized side dish. Let's
Chef
give it a try.
Authorized.
Yeah, Chef fancy.
Oh,
It's like some fancy chips, man. Huh?
fancy chips today.
Some fancy chips. Let's give it a try.
Oh, I did it wrong.
You know, you're
I-
supposed to use a fork and a knife, bro. This is like fine dining over
I'm
here.
not
you know?
that fancy,
Finger
bro.
food over here.
So let's give this a try and see how it tastes. Right? Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I mean,
Wow.
it's potato drenched in butter. How in the world is it not gonna be good?
That is incredible.
It's very tasty.
Now you pair it up with an extremely soft steak. Now you're gonna probably get the
Alright.
texture you like better.
Alright, this one.
Oh.
Yeah, I just want to say Max went for another one of these.
I'm just trying to make sure that my opinion was correct on the first one.
Oh.
It still is.
I don't know, everybody. This one is not really getting eaten. Nothing wrong with this technique. I recommend you giving it a try, especially if you are in time constraint and you want to cook it quickly. It works. Shout out to you, Brandon. Good job. Anyway, guys, these are the results. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you learned something new. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, be sure to subscribe for future videos. Remember, if you are interested in anything I use, everything is always in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching. Go in the description right now. Make sure you follow Max. He's an awesome dude, not only on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. You're everywhere, Max.
Doing my best.
That's
Thank
right.
you.
He's pretty cool in
Appreciate
real
it.
life too.
I think he's better in real life than his TikTok for you.
I'll take that.
Absolutely.
Great hospitality too. by
Thank you for
guys.
coming, Max.
Appreciate it.
See you guys on the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.